Welcome to Why Game of Thrones Sucks. Season 7, The Dragon and the Wolf. Probably the worst episode of the season, but thankfully the last. I picked a bad week to stop sniffing glue having to watch this crap. It starts off with Jaime and Bronn talking about cock, because that's what men do, I guess. They show armies just standing around, boats just floating around, like this is all supposed to be impressive when I'm certain none of them are going to do anything. They're all getting together to meet about a truce. So it goes to everyone walking toward the dragon pit. There's a lot of just fan service conversations here. Tyrion talks to Podrick. Brienne talks to Clegane about Arya. Tyrion talks to Bronn. They make it to the pit. The two Cleganes meet. Dany arrives on dragons for no real good reason. Apparently she's trying to scare people. It's all very slow and very boring when we have a lot we're supposed to be doing. Euron gets up and threatens Theon and Theon's sister. They all kind of act like dickheads. There's a bunch of speeches from Tyrion and Jon, and then Clegane brings up the white and unleashes it. It runs straight at Cersei's face. None of Cersei's guards get in the way. They're all very terrible at their job. She should probably have them killed. They demonstrate how to kill them. Euron gets up, asks if they can swim. They say no. He leaves. Cersei says she'll accept the truce if Jon Snow will stay out of the war. Jon Snow says, no, I have sworn to Queen Daenerys I am good and noble. And Cersei says, well, screw you then, and leaves. And then everyone makes fun of Jon for being such an idiot. And he says, oh, yeah, I know you guys think this is what got my father killed. It is what got your father killed. It's exactly what got your father killed. You're an idiot. He was an idiot. Everyone here is an idiot. I really hope the Night King wins. Tyrion goes to talk to Cersei to bring her back. I don't know whatever convinced them. They just kind of bitch and moan at each other about all their dead family members. And then Tyrion's all like, you're pregnant. She's probably not, but whatever. Jon and Dany, they cut to. They talk about nothing. Apparently it's part of their showmance, which is stupid and disturbing and hasn't really been built well. And then Cersei just comes wandering back in and says, I accept your truce. Let's go fight the dead together. We finally get away from all of these people and go to Winterfell, where Littlefinger is plotting and trying to manipulate Sansa. Talks about playing a little game where you assume the worst of people, the worst of their motives and whatnot, which seems like a really bad idea since that is your whole thing. You always have the worst motives. Don't teach people to look for them. You're an idiot. And I hope you die painfully. Then everyone has teleported to Dragonstone somehow. They were in King's Landing. Boom, they're in Dragonstone, planning their march north. They all decide that they should sail together as a unit and not fly around on dragons because morale. I don't think that's why. I think it's for sex. But we'll see. Theon runs out and apologizes to Jon. Jon seems fine with everything he did. Theon goes to convince people to save Yara. This is a really stupid scene. His 25 men don't want to follow him. He gets into a fight with one of them, and apparently having your cock cut off, and apparently your balls as well, is some sort of superpower, because being kneed really hard in the pelvic bone wouldn't hurt at all. Plus there's got to be scarring, and it would hurt. This is stupid. And the guy tries it repeatedly. It never works. And somehow this means Theon can beat up this giant armored man who's been kicking his ass. And they all decide to go off and save Yara. Yay. We go back to Winterfell. Sansa has Arya taken to the Great Room. They start laying out charges like she is charging Arya with something, and then swerve. Oh, it's Lord Baelish, who begs and pleads and says no one can know what happened. Bran says he knows what happens. This is good enough evidence for everybody. Arya kills him, which is awesome. I'm glad he's finally dead. But it really made no sense. I mean, are they saying that all of this sniping and bitching and fighting each other while they were alone and no one was around for the entire season was a ruse? Or did they just convince each other that Littlefinger was bad and they didn't bother giving any screen time to that? Either way, it doesn't make a hell of a lot of sense. It was stupid, but I'm happy about the payoff of Littlefinger finally being dead. Dumb shits. We go back to King's Landing, where Jaime is planning his troops moving to Winterfell to help fight the war. Cersei comes in, says, "You dumb bastard. We're not going to help them. And if you try and help them, you're a traitor, and I'll have you killed." He makes points that, you know, if they go up there and fight and the dead win, we're all going to die. And if they win, they're going to come back and kill us. And she says, "I've hired the Second Sons." Which is really cool, but they haven't explained very much about them in this show. You know a lot more about them in the books, but that doesn't help us here. It's just, oh, 20,000 mercenaries will solve all of our problems. I don't see how that works. And Jaime leaves. He's like, screw you, I'm out of here. I'm going to fight dead people with my one hand. They show him leaving, and they show it starting to snow. I tell you what, King's Landing isn't going to be the only thing to get a couple of inches of snow in this show. We go back to Winterfell, where Sam comes in, goes, talks to Bran. Bran says, "I know everything, I can see everything, I'm the three-eyed raven." And then says, "Why are you here?" Well, you should know that. You're supposed to be able to see everything, you idiot. This whole scene pissed me off. Then they start talking about how Jon Snow isn't a Stark bastard. He should be a Sand. And Samwell says, "I thought you could see everything, you fucking prick." He doesn't say that, but he should have. He points out that he's not a bastard at all. He's Aegon Targaryen. And they explain all of this right before cutting to Jon and Dany having some incest sex. Well, Tyrion creepily stares at their door. It's off-putting. Apparently we have gone from incest sex being bad in Season 1, Episode 1, to the finale of Season 7, it being awesome. Yay, having sex with your own aunt. They go back to Sansa and Arya, becoming best friends and complimenting each other. They're really trying to cram a lot into the end of this episode. Not unlike Jon Snow. And then we go to Eastwatch and the Wall. The White Walkers have finally made their year-long journey, 15 miles. The dragon flies out, breathes fire in the middle of the wall, which causes it all to collapse down to bare earth so it's easy for zombies to walk through. I guess they had to do something, but hey, at least the season is over. At least the show is almost over. The zombies have finally come. Maybe we'll actually get a real battle in the new season, since we didn't get one at all in this one. And hey, that's it. That is the show.